What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market deep dive. Today's video, we're going to be checking out PNG. So if you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more. If you're interested in a free Discord, free community, it'll be linked in the description below. I also offer a paid Patreon where you get instant chart updates, deep dive videos every Friday per your request, and a lot more. So if you're interested, check out the description below. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we got PNG here on the weekly chart. All these levels are from the past video that I made, or the last video that I made on PNG, which was a while ago. PNG, January 1st. So back through here. So what PNG has done is, I put down this 0.02561 level a while. That's when I put it back, and you did come down and pretty much test it. You almost took out your lows. You essentially took out, you almost took out all of these lows, right? So that's a real bear market, okay? So PNG just, right, if you're still here and you're still holding PNG, you pretty much came through and held through a bear market, okay? So in terms of what it just did yesterday, we've had this level of 4528 yesterday. We hit it to, what was the high? 4485. So, what, 0.15, 0.3, 0.0043 off. 0.00043 off. 0.00043. Yep. That's pretty dang close. And, we have some targets all the way up to 20 cents. If you can actually, get new all-time highs, you can get up to some crazy levels, right? Like that $1.33. But for right now, what PNG is showing is a very complex A wave. This whole thing looks like an A wave. And so what you could possibly have is a three-wave move up for a B wave, right? Three-wave move up for a B wave, right? And reject from here, and then go into a very long, drawn-out correction, which goes for a couple years. That's kind of the worry in the where we're at right now. You can reject definitely through here. Like I said, this 42 cent, because you did through right there, and then you can reject up at 58 cents. So two big areas, right? Like I said, I do have higher targets. I do have, if you go ahead and if you come up through here like this, and then you come down through here and you hold this, right? You hold this. Then you can go up and get some higher targets. This $1.33 all the way up to $2.11. All right, I think that's the highest I got. Yeah, 2.11, which is crazy to think about. You're at 2 cents right now, so that would be absolutely insane run. The one thing I have a problem with is if you come up through here like this, and then you have a nice rounded bottom, and you come up like that, you're gonna need to see this. And that's going to be this is going to be the very, very scary part. Because if you come down through here, reject, it's over. It's over. All right, it's over. You're going to come all the way back down. Okay. So those are some key areas to the upside. As long, as long as PNG can actually get above this 4 cent mark, that's what we're looking at right now. You did get, you got your cross on your MACD. It is a delayed indicator, right? After you got a cross right through here. You're going up for a couple weeks. All right, this is on the weekly chart, so you're going up for good amount of time, right? Good amount of time. This whole entire move, you went up for 5 weeks. And you went up from a low to a high, 131%. You got another cross right here, similar. So you got a cross on the RSI as well. If you can see that right through there. Will the cross last, or will we come crashing right back down? That is the $1 million question. Okay, because right now crypto seems to pump one day and then it comes back down for a couple of days. It pumps for, it pumps for 1 week and then it drops for 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It goes up for 1 week, it drops for 8 weeks. So we need like 2 to 3 weeks. We need some candles without large wicks. Like this candle so far is not very nice. It's not very pretty. It's a pretty ugly candle. All right. You have a bunch of bullish divergence right through here. I covered this on the short. All this green All this green is coming back from November of 2025, so about 6 months. 6 months of bullish divergence. You're just, looks like you're bottoming. Can you get a new low? Can you come back down and get a new low? Of course you can. You can come back down here, take out these lows right through here. You can, for sure. Until you close above 4528, anything is possible. Anything is possible. We're going to go into the daily chart. So we had this trend line. We drew this actually before the day closed. We had this trend line up through here. And right now, right, you are crossing above the zero. You didn't do that, or you did a little bit through here. Where did you do that? A little bit through here. So you got a little bit of movement. Did it last? Of course not. Right? Of course not. But it was something, right? Especially if you're at these lows. But right, people, PNG holders want to see a lot more than just, up to this 4 cent mark. So you're still in this golden zone. Right? We're going to look at price action. You're still in this golden zone. Getting up through here, right? This 14 cents all the way up to 18 cents. That's going to be, highly overextended. If you're interested in this entire trading indicator, my whole setup, I offer that through Patreon. So it's just a visual indication of whether or not you can, get in, get out, stay ahead, right? I pair that with key levels, right? I have key levels all throughout in here. But right now we're keeping it simple. We're keeping it simple. I'll for example, for Patreon, I would have all these key levels up in here posted on a chart so that members can reference it. But right now, there's no need to even talk about that in the video, just because you can't even get above. Can't even hold above right through here. Can't even hold above right through here. Okay. In terms of the correction, what do we got going on the daily? I mean, it does look actually pretty nice relative to other charts. We're talking about this right through here. That right there. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good because you're oscillating down. You're not creating, you're not doing this, like slowly building up. You're not doing that. You're not building like an upward channel where you're going to eventually tank. What you've done now is, all right, what you've done is you impulsed, and then you kind of oscillated down, and you're up. So what do we need now here? We need some kind of, we can't just go straight down, right? You can't just go straight down, but you do need to, I think you need a B wave, come back up, back test this 2561. I think you're going to back test it. You tried to hold it up through here and back test it, and you couldn't last. So that's where I think you're going to get some kind of A, B, C. If you lose 2561, you're going to make new lows. That's just how it is. You're not going to lose 2561 and then bounce. All right, you're going to more than likely come up through here, reject. If you close down below here, it's really going to want lower prices. In terms of the correction, the 1-2 setup. Yeah, that's your 0.5 of this previous correction. Okay, that's the 0.5 of your previous. So you have like a 1, 2, and then look at this. Look at this little 1, 2 down in here too. This is really nice. You have like a 1, 2. You have an A. You're gonna need a B, and then you got to get a C up for your third wave. Maybe you come up even more. All right, we're gonna measure that out. But here, this 1, 2 is really nice. It's very nice. So if you can manage to do something like this. Drizzle, 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 and then go. That'd be very nice, very ideal. What is that impulse? So we're going to take the 2-wave low. We're going to take this wave low. Take this low. I think that's the low. That's the low, and this is the high. Coming down right below your 786. So look at that. That 886 is right at that 2561. I mean 2575. Potato. You come down through here and you lose this, you're going to make some new lows. It's just a random impulse, right? Just a random impulse. It is a $6 million asset. These assets can, they can vary. They can move in the blink of an eye. There's not a whole lot of news or narrative that needs to pump a $6 million asset. You put $10 million in it. If a market maker does, it's, you're going up 100%. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot to move it. Right now, for us to even think about getting higher at this point, once you start crossing, obviously this trend line is very big, but right up through here, this 3658. So I would have 3658, marked and highlighted on the chart, just because that's your 382. So you can come back down. You can come up through here. If you reject up here, you just could have some type of, flat pattern where you have an overshooting B wave, and then you come down here and make a new low, or you could have a higher low. Right? You can have like a 3-wave move, and then you can go, or you can have a 3-wave move, 3-wave move, and then you go. All right. Sorry for my chicken scratch, but that's the way I do things. So yeah, I would have 3658 marked. This trend line, you definitely have to close above this trend line, without a doubt. So if you get up to the 382, if you get up through here, and you lose the trend line, you're more than likely coming back down to this 886 area, right, for an overshooting B wave. So let's see, let's see where this thing got to off the one, off this little setup down through here. Looks like it got to maybe the 4272, something like that. We can even use this. We can use this low. Might as well. Oh yeah, 42, way past it. See, this thing, when it does run, it's gonna go crazy. I feel like it is. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So let's take this low. Let's take this high. I don't know where the low is yet. So let's be conservative, right? Let's be realistic. Let's be conservative. Let's use, like, we're gonna come down to this 886. We're gonna bounce off the 886 after a 3-wave correction. Okay, so you'd have a. Let me just mark this out so you can see it. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then let me put it like, I don't know, dark blue. There we go. You have something like this, something like that. You could come down here. All right. Look at that. Some key resistance up through here. Look at this. The 618 up to the 786. Big areas. Big areas. But you break through all that and you close up through here. You're targeting 6 cents all the way up to 7 cents. That would be the target. Sorry. 6 cents up to 8 cents. For some reason, I thought that was the 2618 that I highlighted. Happy medium would be right around that 2 cent mark. It's right around that 200. Usually you wick right above the 200 anyways. Yeah, you had some resistance through here. Let's see if we see anything that's remotely relative. I'll delete it so we can get out. Remotely relative. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty relative. That's pretty. I mean, hey, that's why you like and subscribe to the channel, right? Stuff like this. Without hindsight, look at that. That is freaking phenomenal. Yeah, I would expect that too to be hit. That's kind of where I'd put my money on. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, as always. Right, I got to make that disclaimer because it can go to zero. But if this continues, if this move plays out, right, I would put money on at least this being hit, this 6868 area. All right, 6868 area. So 6868. Now it'd set you up for a 1-2. You'd have an A, B, C for your third. You need to come down for a fourth. Hopefully you can hold this 4, 5, 2 something, and then you go get a fifth. Something up through here, right? And that would be your 1. Sorry. And this would be your 1-2. Right, and that'll be your 1-2. Okay. So you'd have, your smaller 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have your smaller 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have your 1, 2, A, B, C, 3. You'd have your 4, and then you come up for your 5th. Okay, could you reject from here and it be all over? I mean, sure, you could. I really wouldn't expect it. I really wouldn't expect it. If you get 5 waves to the upside, I would expect some kind of oscillation coming down, oscillation coming down, oscillation coming down, coming back, testing that 4th wave low once again, and then going up and getting your 3rd wave of your 3rd wave. Right, and that's where you can see these rejections up here, because this would ultimately be, okay, let's take out the chicken scratch real quick. Okay, so that'd be your 1st wave. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC, 4. Sorry. I gotta do it like this. All right. 2, be something like a 3, a 4, coming up through here, somewhere. We're having fun now, right? This 3, 4, 1, 4. I mean, you got up to the 4, 2, 7, 2 of that last move. Is it going to be that same strength? Probably not, because that's that 5th wave. The 3rd wave is always the strongest. All right, and then you'd come back down. All right, you'd come back down in a 3-wave move, something like that. Okay, so you'd have a 1, 2, and then you'd need that 3rd wave. All right, you could have 5 waves up. I'm sorry, that's way too much. That is way too much. Like this, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna redo this obviously so it can look nice and pretty. Okay, so coming up through here, something like that. Back testing those highs, back testing that, back testing that. So you could have something like this, right? Where you have an overall, this would be, this is the danger, right? This is the danger. You'd have a 1, 2, 3 wave move. All right, you'd have a 3-wave move, and that could be it. And that could be it. And then the run is over, and then it goes, and then you make new lows. See, that's the danger of everything is, yeah, you can say 5 waves up, 5 waves up on the 1st wave correction, 5 waves up, but overall it's still a 3-wave move. Okay, so that's why when I talk about, so just so you can get a clear picture. All right, something like this. Something like this, right? Something like this, like maybe back testing. Up through here. All right, this is all speculation. I don't know. It could do something completely different than this, but this would be that 3-wave move that I was talking about, where you don't make new all-time highs. All right, where you don't make new all-time highs is where, you have a 3-wave move up, and then you reject off of a previous area of resistance. All right, and then this 3-wave move could then turn into something way more complex, and then you would have your A, B, C. Okay. But still, from where it's at right now, 20 cents is a 7x, 40 cents is a 15x. So, if you've been in the asset, if you've been DCAing in, if you've been doing that, if you time the lows, takes a lot of skill. If you time the lows, that's a great move. But it's hard for me to be scared and super bearish down here at super extreme lows. I'd be more nervous up through these levels, like we talked about. Okay. So that is, that's what I got for PNG. Like I said, if you're interested in more depth and more breakdown for that paid Patreon membership, I do also offer a free Discord. We talk about charts, community chart shares, bearish, bullish, neutrals. It's a great, nice, clean community. As always, I do thank you for your time. I thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.